Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Got a 1922 proof high relief matte finish coin.
Okay. Where did you get this?
I won it at a poker game, believe it or not.
This is like one of the holy grails of American coins, and you won it in a poker game.
Yep.
Whoa.
Came down to the pawn shop today to try to sell a 1922 proof coin. I don't know a lot about it, but the guy who lost it to me said it was really valuable. So hoping to get 20,000 out of it.
This is cool. In 1921, we brought the silver dollar back. And the story goes is they were going to try and make some really high relief ones. What this means by high relief right here is the image really comes off the coin. Okay, it's much higher detail. And I don't know the exact story, but there was like some problems and they got melted down. And most people didn't even know they existed for like 15 years. And then all of a sudden, some stories came from the mint that they actually existed. So there's like a dozen of these things in the world.
It's pretty rare.
Oh, well, it's beyond rare. The 1922 high relief peace dollar is one of the rarest coins in American history. It definitely shocks me that people will walk up to my counter and pull out an item worth $50,000 or $100,000 or more. I definitely want this thing, but I have to make absolutely sure this is the real deal. Silver dollars is what every coin collector collects. Everyone collects silver dollars, and maybe they collect half dollars and nickels, but they all buy silver dollars. I mean, that's the mainstay of collectible coins.
Oh, okay.
So, how much you want for it?
20,000.
What, you want 20 for it? 20,000?
Do you think it's worth
Yeah,
it?
sure, no problem. Let's go. No, this is worth a lot more than 20 grand.
Oh. That's pretty awesome.
Do you mind if I call a friend to take a look at this? I have a few mega concerns here, okay? I've never seen one in person, and I just want to make sure everything's legit. I mean, if someone was to fake a coin, this is the one they would do it on. I'm actually friends with a guy who works at NGC. He's one of the best coin graders, and if everything's legit, maybe we'll do some business. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right, hang out.
All right. I think there's a good chance it's legit. Obviously, nothing in this world is 100%, but I'm happy with an expert coming in for sure.
Dave!
Rick, how you doing?
I am doing absolutely fabulous, and this is it. Oh.
Wow. It isn't every day a 1922 high relief peace dollar walks in the door.
This guy got it in a poker game.
Oh my God. It's always nice to get called in on an exciting coin. This coin is particularly interesting, historical, and it's rare as hen's teeth.
Now, what exactly is the story with this coin? I mean, this was the coin the government minted, but no one knew they minted it for like 15 or 20 years?
That's correct. None of these had transacted until 1937. These were more or less unknown, and they carried over the high relief of the 1921 issues, all of which, by the way, were stuck in a one-week period at the end of 1921. Now, the high relief design was sort of a triumph of art and a failure of technology because although they were beautiful, they couldn't strike them with enough pressure to get a lot of them out. So they ended up early in 1922 having to reduce the relief of the design.
Okay.
So I assume your main concern is it real?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
It is in an NGC holder, which is wonderful. The holder is completely intact and genuine. And the coin is perfectly legitimate. It's one of very few known.
Okay, so the big thing is, what's it worth?
One of these sold very recently that brought a touch over 100,000. It's a little bit nicer than this, but not too far apart. I think this coin is worth something north of 50, but less than 100.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Super rare, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
All right,
you.
there you go.
All right.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon, man.
Sounds good. I'm quite excited that this is the real thing. Very few specialists have had the chance to actually handle them, but finding one of these, especially walking into a pawn shop, is really extraordinary.
I should have just gave you the 20 grand and not called in Dave.
I'm happier now.
I'll give you $65,000.
What about 90? I think 90 is fair.
You were willing to take 20 grand for it.
You weren't willing to offer me 20 grand for it.
I think 75 is fair.
Meet me in the middle at 80, and you got a deal.
It's a deal.
All right.
Okay. All right, let's go up front. I'll write you up.
I made 80,000 on the coin. Super excited about it. Definitely gonna keep playing poker. Hopefully I get another coin like this sometime.
Hey, guys.
You're walking with a little swagger this morning. What's up?
I've just bought possibly one of the coolest coins ever made in the United States. A 1922 high-relief peace dollar. There's like 10 or 12 of them in existence.
As long as we can make a bunch of money, I guess it's cool, but there's nothing cool about it.
Your generation don't get it. Back then, they got it.
Yeah, boy.
Please. We made it possible for cell phones, computers.
The app? What's your generation responsible for? The financial collapse?
Balding.
Wait a minute. My generation is the greatest.
Really?
His whole generation was pretty amazing. I mean, remember, during his time is when, like, the microchip was invented.
And we walked on the moon.
No, that was definitely my generation. We made that possible.
You made it possible to walk on the moon.
My generation did. Tell him, Corey.
I don't know what generation you're part of, but sure, chum. Hey, how's it going?
Fine, how are you?
There's a mannequin in my store.
Yes,
Why don't you tell me what you got here?
it's a Pioneer Mustang jacket my father-in-law wore in World War II.
Oh, wow.
Flew a P-51 Mustang over Normandy with 12 kills. He actually was shot down and bailed out after 103 missions and survived.
Sounds like your father-in-law was a badass.
I'm coming in the shop today to try to sell my World War II fighter jacket. The condition of the jacket is pretty good for being 75 years old. I'm hoping to sell the jacket for $1,000.
This is definitely cool.
I'm assuming your father-in-law was Sandy, what, Bonato?
Bonato.
Okay. Do you know what number fighter group he was in?
354th Fighter Group.
No, it's Pioneer Mustang Group, so I'm assuming he flew Mustangs, right? The plane?
Yes. They were the first Mustang group that flew in
Makes
World War
sense.
II.
Okay, so they were the first
They were-
Mustang group.
That's why they call them pioneers.
Okay, I gotcha. Do you know anything about the patches?
You know, I did some research in the patch, but I really couldn't find a lot about it.
Okay,
Sometimes patches can be really valuable, but
anytime you get a group of guys together, you know, a squadron, they make up their own little patches, and we're the devil dogs, or whatever you want to call it. You know, a lot of times guys would make stuff like this up themselves. Pretty much other than that, I mean, it looks like a standard World War II era bomber jacket. What are you looking to get for it?
$1,000.
Okay. I really am kind of curious about the patch because I've never seen one like that. Do you mind if I have a buddy of mine come down and take a look at it?
No, not at all.
All right, make sure nobody knocks it over or something. I'll be right back.
I'll guard it.
Oh, this is very nice. And the Pioneer Mustang Group was the first one to get the P-51B Mustang. The Mustang was the ultimate fighter that we had in World War II. You know, it's one of those aircraft that are just iconic. When you called me, I looked up Sandy Bonato, and he was at Normandy. He was over the Battle of Bulge. He was there. He did his time. When you see a painted jacket, this is what you're looking for in World War II fighter jackets, and it is in really nice shape. The patch, though, that's interesting. That's odd. This patch is not the original one that was on here. I have never seen that.
That's exactly why I brought you in.
This is interesting because this is actually a tank destroyer unit.
Okay.
They had their own patch, and that was the orange patch with the black cat on it. And why they had that was they were using Hellcats. Those are things with treads and large guns on them, not flying through the air. Instead of having the plane on it, it had treads in the mouth, as if it had just destroyed a tank.
Oh,
So somebody probably took that design, added the plane to it, and my guess is this may very well have been a prototype, but they couldn't get it approved.
So does that affect the value?
This is still highly collectible. And because it's a known pilot, it's something that for a collector, they can look him up. They can look up what he did, the unit he was in. This is a very nice piece.
Mark, I appreciate you coming down.
Not a problem. This is an interesting one.
You still want $1,000 for it?
yes,
I don't do this very often. Why don't you ask me for $1,200?
$1,200.
It's in really good condition. At $1,000 is a little cheap for it. I'll be able to make plenty of money off
Oh,
$1,200.
good.
And it's really cool. So come with me. We got to do some paperwork. All right?
Well, I was really happy when he offered me $1,200 because it was $200 more than I was expecting. And we're going to take the money and use it for my mother-in-law who's in a nursing home.
Chum,
Rick, I am your father.
what are you doing? You're gonna pass out. There's no oxygen in that.
I almost passed out.
Hello, how can I help you?
Hi. Looking to see if maybe you'd be interested in purchasing this sword.
Oh, wow.
Are you a closet samurai or something like that?
No. I'm here at the pawn shop today, hopefully to sell my 16th century katana ceremonial sword. My father-in-law brought it back from World War II when he was stationed in Japan. I think this sword is really cool, and I'm looking to get $10,000.
It's a great piece of history. During World War II, there was this whole thing called the Spoils of War and war prizes. Might sound a little strange now, but it just goes back from thousands of years. I mean, that was part of a soldier's pay. If you went to battle, you got to take a few prizes home. Generally, out of Europe, they would take flutes. I've seen lugers. I've seen all these other things. One of the big things guys brought back from Japan was samurai swords.
Wow.
Can you tell me what this says right here?
Well, he actually did ask a Japanese kid to tell him what the writings meant. The kid said it was a sword used for beheading Christians.
I mean, I have never heard of the Japanese beheading Christians.
Okay.
Can we see the blade on this thing?
Do you mind if I take it apart? Take it one at a
Absolutely.
time?
Please. There's a little excitement in here. Ooh, check out the blade on that sword. Don't be touching that, Rick. You know better than that. What did I tell you over the years?
What have you taught me?
Yeah, not to touch that with your hands.
So what can you tell me about this, chum? Humor him. What do you know about it?
Let's see here. It's pretty old. Looks pretty nice. Definitely looks like it was used. Probably beheaded, you know, an out-of-line boss once or twice in its time.
I definitely find it interesting. What were you looking to do with it?
Sell it.
Okay, how much you want for it?
$10,000.
Okay. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea what it's worth. It's in need of some reconditioning, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
With these things, I have a friend who knows everything about them. When they just come in, that's who I call. So if you don't mind hanging out for a little bit, I'll give him a call, have him come down, check it out, and
Great, excellent.
he'll give us a much better idea what it's worth. Will you entertain this young lady?
That's what I do, Rick.
I'm really looking forward to Rick having the expert come in and tell us all about the sword.
Here it is. So what do you think?
Well, let me take a look at the handle with your permission.
Absolutely. That was slick.
Well, it's got some writing on the blade, huh? You seeing anything good down there?
So this blade is actually very interesting because During the 1800s, there was a great rebellion and a civil war going on, and many factions were trying to take over Japan. This blade was made in 1863 by Nagahiro and was given to the Lord of Choshu to protect Japan against enemies of the emperor, the imperial family, and especially against the Tokugawa, or the military leader. So this is quite an important sword, historically.
She was told a story that it was used for beheading Christians, which I said, probably not.
There is a term called joy that's written on the tang, which means protecting or reverence to the imperial family. So not literally beheading Christians, but just anybody who was considered an enemy of the emperor at the time.
Okay, so the big question, what's it worth?
Well, in its present condition and the fact that it has very high historical value, I'd say this sword is probably worth about $10,000.
Wow.
All right, thanks, man.
Okay. This sword is a very good buy for the shop because it's a very unique item. Anytime you get a sword that was actually owned personally by the Lord, that's got to be something special.
All right, so what are you willing to take for it? I have to make money on it.
Oh, I realize that. 5? Can you make money at that?
Yeah, I can. I make a little too much money at that. The fact of the matter is, I don't take advantage of people. 5,000 is just too low. I will give you $6,000 for it. I would go more, but this is a multi-year project here, most likely. So I'm assuming 6,000 is fine since you wanted 5.
Yes, 6,000 is great.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Chum, will you write her up?
I'm gonna write this ticket up, and then I might behead you with this sword, Rick.
Oh. I'm amazed. I asked for 5,000 for the sword, and Rick cut me some slack and actually gave me 6. It's awesome.
What can I help you with?
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing great.
I have an old helmet from around World War I-ish.
It's pretty neat. Not the most protective thing in the world.
And some poor bastard had to wear this to protect his head.
I came down to the pawn shop today to sell my grandfather's old World War I Marine helmet. I could use the money to take my wife on another honeymoon trip. I really feel it's worth $500, but if worse come to worse, I would take 3.
It was probably one of the most hellish wars we ever had. It was the first war where there was chemical warfare. You see the old movies and everything, and you see the Germans using it. We used it too.
I didn't know that.
The problem was, when you used the chemical warfare, we killed as many Americans as we killed Germans with our own gas. All of a sudden, the wind would change. You know, you're killing your own guys.
And it changed the way war's fought today. I mean, we still don't use mustard gas.
It was a brutal, terrible war. They called it a war of inches because literally they would fight for days just to get a few feet. World War I was a nasty, nasty conflict. No one had ever fought a large-scale war with poison gas before. And high-speed machine guns made it even worse. So the soldiers had to dig down into trenches to survive. I mean, this is definitely legit. This is a World War I helmet. I can 99.9% guarantee that. The value of these things is really determined usually on that logo right there. Which division of the forces is on the front of it. This stuff is major important. What I don't know, though, is this emblem supposed to be here? It appears to be Marines, which would make it a lot rarer. The Marines have always been a much smaller force than the regular Army and everything else. In World War I, every U.S. Army division had a different helmet logo. Some are more rare than others, so whether this helmet is worth hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, it all depends on the details. I don't know everything about World War I, so let me call on somebody who does. He'll tell us what's going on and what it's worth.
Okay, great.
I'll be right back.
All right, thanks.
Original World War I stuff is getting harder and harder to find. I'm just crossing my fingers it's legit, because people are always faking this stuff. So this is what I called you about.
Yeah, it looks like a U.S. Marine Corps helmet. The guys usually call me up when they get some unusual military item that they have concerns about its authenticity, and I can usually figure it out and appraise it for them.
Do you know how many Marines were in World War I?
Tens of thousands. During World War I, half of the 2nd Army Division was U.S. Marines.
Okay.
This is a World War I era helmet, and you can tell by the flared out rim. And they designed this because of artillery shell bursts. So this would protect the shoulders and the back of the neck. People think that helmets will deflect bullets, and they're not effective for that. Really, it's just designed to protect you from shrapnel and light hits. This symbol is the 2nd Army Division in the 5th Marine Regiment. That's the Eagle Globe and Anchor Marine Corps emblem above it.
All right. So are the Marine ones a lot rarer than the Army ones?
Marine Corps ones are a lot rarer and a lot more desirable, which means people fake them a lot more. Some people are really good at faking this stuff.
That's exactly what my concerns are. Someone faked that thing.
Okay, I'll take a closer look.
If this helmet is legit and has the right markings, it could be worth well over $2 grand. And a good fake is worth right around 20 bucks as a movie prop.
Okay, well, I got some news for you guys. I think it's definitely real. The reason I believe it's real, it's a World War I era Marine Corps emblem. And the way you can tell is World War I era, the globe had both the latitude and longitude lines. Later on, they only had the latitude. And the paint looks good, everything looks good to me, and good age. The patina on the EGA is perfect. It has age. There's a lot of grime. It doesn't look like anybody's painted that. It looks all original.
So what do you think it's worth?
Well, in today's market, I'd say somewhere between $900 and $1,500.
Okay.
When the expert told me it was worth up to $1,500, I was very excited because, I walked in only wanting, $500 for it. So I thought, gosh, this is my payday.
Thanks a lot, man. You're the best.
Sure thing. Thank you.
I was already pretty sure the helmet was genuine, but it's always a relief when you know for sure. All right, so how much you want for it?
Well, 13.
No, that's not gonna happen. If you put this on the internet, no one's gonna buy it off you because they're not gonna know if it's a fake or not.
I'd really like to get $1,000.
I'm thinking more like 500 bucks.
I can't do 500. I mean, this is really rare from what the expert said. Would you be willing to go 950?
I'll tell you what, I'll go 700 bucks. I mean, I have a business here. I have to make money.
How about 750?
All right, 750.
All right, thank you.
All right, you wanna write them up?
Let's go do some paperwork, my man.
I walked in, I only wanted $500. I walked out with $750, and I'll tell you, this is a great day.
What do you got?
I have these coins that are very valuable that I'm trying to get rid of at this point in time.
All right, where in the world did you get these?
Well, my dear Aunt Mary, she passed away and she turned them over to me. She left them to me in her will. Now, these were originally my grandfather's coins, so these coins go way back.
All right, these are really interesting. So, 1878, they started making the Morgan silver dollar. It's the most collectible of all the United States coins. There's tons of different mint marks. There's a lot of variations and everything. And you generally, with coin collecting, everyone wants the highest grade coin possible. I mean, the higher the grade, the more it's worth. But then a few years ago, this craze happened where people wanted to collect the lowest grade. They wanted to be able to get ones. That's where the coin is completely worn out from natural wear, not from any damage or anything like that, where you can still see the mint mark and still figure out the year. That's what these are right here, and they're called low balls. I mean, it's like graded a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Everyone wants the ones, and these are all ones, which is amazing. It's sort of crazy. The price keeps on going down the lower the grade gets. Highest grade, start going down. You get to like a 4, it gets down here, and then it goes back up. It's crazy.
Okay, all right, that sounds crazy, but hey.
We got some really good dates in here, too.
Yes, sir.
These are all amazing. I mean, how much did you want for them?
$200 for each one. That's $2,400 for the whole batch. How about that? Now, that's a deal. Let's make a deal.
That is a heck of a deal. It really, really is.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
But I sort of have a conscience, and they're worth more than that. They really are.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I mean, these two right here, I could probably get $600, $700 bucks a piece out of.
Really?
I'd give you $4,000 for the lot. That is more of a fair price. It really is.
Really? Can your conscience go up even higher to $5,000 for the whole lot?
No, no. $4,000 I think is a really reasonable price for these things right here.
I appreciate that. I'll take it.
Sweet.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
If you go right over there,
all right,
they'll get you paid.
I knew there was something I liked about you. Take care, Rick. Thank you.
All right.
All righty.